Hello again. This is another one about Calcutta when I was on the old wave bank line ship, the tramp ship. And once again, it was July 1971, and it was the biggest heat wave they'd had in I don't know how many years, 20, 30, 40 years. And the locals were dying because of the heat exhaustion. They just couldn't, even the locals couldn't stand it. And the work on was cancelled down the hatches because it just couldn't work. So um, all us officers, it was about engineers and mates. The crew were Indian, so they weren't really. They just stayed out of it. But we spent most of our time uh, in the mornings. We would go straight to the Mariners Club, which had a swimming pool. Although swimming pool was still very hot water with the sun on it. It was a lot cooler in the swimming pool than it was out in the sun. So we were there for a full 3 weeks in Calcutta, and of course, it's with these Scottish engineers and whatnot, and the beer, the main freezers had broken down because the insulation couldn't handle the heat, so all the meat was thrown out. But if we put the beer in the deep freeze, the beer went down to quite acceptable drinking temperature. So that used to keep us going. Was the cool or coolish beer, and our trip ashore in the morning to the Mariners Club for the water. Now, we decided we want to have a bit of fun getting to the Mariners Club. It was about maybe 2 or 3 Ks in a taxi. And there was taxis everywhere. And they were invariably old Morris Oxfords and in various states of repair and age, but the driver somehow kept them going. And we decided we'd have a race every day to the Mariners Club, and we would get prizes to who would be the first one there. So we went and it took us a day or two to select looked like the fastest taxi we get, and we commissioned these very keen taxi drivers um, to explain the reason we wanted to do this race. So outside the gates, all these, it was up to about 9 or 10 of them, we lined up, and we had a Le Mans start. And we stayed in the course of taxis, and they were across the street, and then somebody fired a little cap gun, and they came running across in the sarongs and jandals, started the engines, and raced off. And they take so many risks, and going around roundabouts and going through stop signs, and we were all yelling at each other and abusing each other, and really, waving beer cans at each other. And it was quite amazing because if we lagged behind a bit, we would try and bribe our taxi driver, with even more money, if they could try and do it. And it was there was a couple of accidents actually, and but anyway, that went on every day for nearly 3 weeks, and I think I won two of the races, but the one that kept winning the races was a guy that. He managed to find a taxi that was much faster than the others, and the driver was prepared to take even more risks. So he won most of the prizes. But it was good fun. It was good fun. So there we are. There's the races in Calcutta.